On a cold and silent night of August 8, 1963, under a sky wrapped in darkness, a Royal Mail train cut through the British countryside. It was moving from Glasgow toward London, unaware that history was about to intercept its journey. Hidden inside one of its carriages were heavy canvas bags filled with cash, money so vast that, in today's value, it would exceed £67 million, or nearly 800 crore. At the controls of the speeding locomotive sat Jack Mills, a 58-year-old veteran train driver. The night was routine, until it wasn't. As the train approached a remote railway crossing, something unusual happened. A red signal light suddenly appeared ahead. This was strange. At that hour, on that stretch of track, Royal Mail trains were never expected to stop. Yet rules were rules. Mills pulled the brake, and the massive machine screeched to a halt in the middle of nowhere. For a few seconds, there was only silence. But that silence concealed a plan so precise, so daring, that it would soon be remembered as the greatest train robbery in British history. Welcome back to Zishan TV. What you're about to hear may sound like a Hollywood thriller, but every word of it is real. Without firing a single bullet, a group of criminals was about to outsmart Britain's security system and walk away with millions. Months before that night, in the hidden corners of London's underworld, a small group of experienced criminals gathered with a bold idea. At the center of it all was Bruce Reynolds, a man known not for brute force, but for intelligence and vision. He wasn't interested in small-time crimes. He wanted something legendary. Reynolds had access to classified Royal Mail information, leaked by a senior security officer whose identity remains unknown to this day. This insider revealed the existence of a special carriage known as the High Value Package Coach, or HVP. On certain days, this carriage transported enormous amounts of cash between cities, especially during bank holidays. The target was set. But there was a problem. Reynolds' gang had never robbed a train before. To solve this, they recruited another notorious group, the South Coast Raiders, criminals who understood railways, signals, and moving targets. Slowly, the operation expanded. More men were added. More risks were calculated. Eventually, over 15 people became part of a single mission, to rob a government train without using guns. This wasn't a robbery. It was a military-style operation. On August 7, 1963, at 6:50 p.m., the Royal Mail train departed Glasgow Central Station. It was scheduled to reach London's Euston Station by 4 a.m. The train consisted of 12 carriages, staffed by 72 postal workers who sorted mail while the train was in motion. Unlike passenger trains, this one rarely stopped. Mailbags were transferred mid-motion using elevated platforms and nets, an efficient but risky system. The most valuable carriage, the HVP coach, was waiting at Nene Valley Railway Station. Here came the first stroke of luck. Normally, HVP coaches were equipped with alarm systems, ordered after earlier security warnings. But on this specific day, every alarm-fitted coach was out of service. A reserve coach, labeled M3024M, was attached instead, completely unprotected. Even more shocking? Because of a recent bank holiday weekend, the carriage carried nearly £3 million, instead of the usual £300,000. 12 times more money. Zero alarms. This wasn't coincidence. This was orchestration. As the train moved deeper into the night, the robbers took their positions near Sears Crossing. At around 3 a.m., one member sabotaged the railway signal. The green light was blocked using a glove, while a red light was powered manually with a battery. When Jack Mills saw the red signal, confusion hit him, but procedure forced him to stop. The assistant driver stepped out to call the signalman. The phone line had been cut. Before he could react, masked men emerged from the bushes. Within seconds, the situation turned violent. When Mills resisted, a metal rod struck his head, knocking him unconscious. Meanwhile, another team detached the first two carriages from the rest of the train. Their goal was not to rob the train where it stood, but to steal part of the train itself. Just 1 kilometer away stood Bridgeport Bridge, where a truck waited below. A retired train driver had been brought in to move the engine, but panic froze him. He had never operated this model before. With no other choice, the robbers revived Jack Mills and forced him to drive. At Bridgeport Bridge, the HVP carriage was broken into. 5 postal workers were beaten, tied up, and silenced. Inside were 128 heavy mail bags, weighing a total of 2.5 tons, stuffed with small denomination notes. Time was their enemy. In just 15 minutes, the gang formed a human chain, passing bag after bag down into the waiting truck. They escaped with 120 bags, leaving 8 behind. Before disappearing, a threat was issued: "Don't move for 30 minutes, or you die." That single sentence would later become their biggest mistake. The gang escaped in an Austin Lodestar truck and 2 Land Rovers, all carrying the same fake license plate, BMG 757. After 45 minutes, they reached their hideout, a rented farmhouse near Oakley Village, 43 kilometers away. They celebrated. They laughed. They even played Monopoly using real cash. But the radio brought bad news. Police were searching within a 50 kilometers radius, calculated from the 30-minute warning. Panic replaced celebration. The stolen amount was divided, around £2.5 million in total. Each corps member walked away with nearly £150,000, a fortune beyond imagination in the 1960s. They cleaned fingerprints and planned to burn the hideout. But greed interfered. The man assigned to destroy the evidence fled without doing it. Police helicopters swarmed the area. A £10,000 reward was announced. A local resident reported suspicious activity. The farmhouse, Leatherslade Farm, was raided. Evidence was everywhere: mailbags, a repainted truck, and most critically, fingerprints on a Monopoly board. Scotland Yard matched them to criminal records. Within days, 14 out of 16 robbers were arrested, vanished forever. The mystery train driver, the Royal Mail insider, both remain unidentified to this day. The court labeled it the robbery of the century, sentencing most members to 30 years in prison. Bridego Bridge earned a new name, Robbers Bridge. Jack Mills never returned to work. He died 7 years later, broken by injury and trauma. A crime without gunfire. A plan without mercy. A mistake written in fingerprints. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and comment. This is Zishan TV and we'll see you in the next unforgettable story.